Dodorico boys, Michael and Chris, thanks for having a chat with us today.
Not a problem.
Now, I just found out then that Michael, you're actually the oldest out of the two.
That's right.
The whole time I thought Chris is. So tell us when you started your junior career down in Hatfield.
So yeah, I started in 1977, under 9, so I was 7, under Neville McCabe. He coached us. We won the flag. First year of juniors, yeah. So
7-year-old.
that's as a 7-year-old, so that's where it all started. So I was playing with the 8 and 9-year-olds. I was only a little tacker.
Yeah.
So that's where it started. Good start though, win the flag.
And Chris, for you?
1982 for me. Matthew Drain was actually my first coach, so I think it would have been 7 as well, yeah. And then the legendary Popper Guest was my last junior coach in 1992, I think. So
Wow.
So yeah,
That's
grand
pretty cool
final.
having guys of that calibre coaching.
Yeah, true. Well, I think we made Matty Drain
That's
the coach he is today, the famous he is
famous video of him
today.
and Sheeds after the 2000 grand final. Michael, talk to us a little bit about your junior sides through those eras because you were quite successful, weren't you?
Yeah, we did have a very good junior team right through. So we won premierships of like 77, like I mentioned. We won premiership in 83 under 14s, and also 85 under 16s. So 3 premierships in my junior career, and a runner-up in 84 under 16s. My first year under 16s, 84. We're runner-up under George Brownie, and then 85 we won it. Yeah, so my second year under 16s.
And a few of those players from that era, who were a few of the names that we'd remember?
Yeah, so Robbie Don, Mark Stefnak, Anthony Rock played with us in the 85 premiership under 16s. Gino Nardella, Tony Gristo, Sam Figueroa, Michael Schwerner. Yeah, so they were the sort of core group of juniors that came through in that era.
Were you as lucky, Chris? Had as much success?
No, we struggled probably for years and years. So I think, like I said, my last year of juniors was the first grand final I ever played in 92, I think it was, 91, 92. And I said Popper Guest coach, so no, I wasn't as lucky. So
Who were the few of the guys you came through the junior ranks with?
Greg Don, who's obviously still involved, and young daughters are playing now, so he's probably the main one. The rest test me memory, but
Yeah, well, it is funny how a couple of years off you can not as experience as much success as your siblings.
No, that's right. No, look, it was tough, but I mean, we all stuck it out, and eventually, we got playing the grand final. We unfortunately got spanked, but
Yeah.
I think we got beaten up the week before. So yeah, but yeah, got success later on, so it was all right. So
Michael, you talk about a junior premiership in 85 with a few of those names.
Yeah.
4 years later, as a 19-year-old, you're playing senior football. Did you think going through 1989 that you're in the hunt, where you'd get the chance to maybe play in a grand final at such a young age?
No, I didn't really sort of think about it too much. I'd come back and played the last 4 games to qualify.
Where were you playing at that point?
So I was at Carlton,
Yeah.
and then I broke my ankle pre-season at Carlton, 89, so I didn't play for the whole year, did rehab and that sort of thing. And come back to Hadfield for the last 4 games, qualified, and played the premiership. Yeah, so that was my first year of senior football. So it was great. It was awesome as a 19-year-old. Yeah, playing with all the experienced guys and the likes of Drebbing and Pete Whittle. Pete Whittle was coach. Yeah, captain coach. Yeah.
Did you get the feeling when you decided to come back and qualify that the boys got a bit of a lift from you coming back?
Don't know really, but have to ask them. But it was a good vibe around the club as a whole, and I knew we were a big chance to win. I'd followed the results throughout the year, and we won the second semi pretty convincingly. Yeah, so I knew we were a big chance to win. Yeah.
And what are some of your memories of the day?
I think we led most of the day from memory, and we had a pretty good hold on the game right from the start. Even though I think they got close to us early in the last quarter, and then we kicked away. Yeah.
Stefo went berserk.
Stefo kicked 5 for the day, I think. BOG.
Yeah.
I think he kicked 3 goals in the last quarter from memory. Yeah.
Yeah.
Forget the blonde stallion back then.
Yeah, I've seen the photo. You remember the day, Oz?
89.
Test your
His
memory.
memory's better than mine.
Yeah.
Believe me, you can ask anyone. So.
And that was obviously one of your great successes down here, and then we had a a strong era in A grade those next few years, and you end up winning an A grade best and fairest in '92. It must be a pretty special feeling.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so 90 and 92. Yeah, it was when we obviously won in '89 up to A grade. In A grade from 90 to 96. So yeah, it was an honour to win a couple of BNFs, but and good footy in A grade in those days. We had a pretty good team. Just didn't quite make finals. We got pretty close a couple of times. There's a couple of years there under Steve Gumley was sitting second, I think, halfway through the year, and we just sort of fell away a bit, missed the finals by half a game or a game. So that was a bit disappointing, but we had some good sides. Yeah.
And Chris, as a younger player coming through the ranks, under 18s and into seniors, it must have been a strong team to look up to and try and break into as a younger player.
Yeah, it was. It was tough. I think it took me 3 years. So, Pete Whittle finally gave me a chance in '95. So it's a good experience. But yeah, it was obviously tough as a young fella. So you got to put in hard work, I suppose. It was probably at that age where a bit lazy and just thought it would happen, So.
Well, those mid-90 years were some of our strongest here. When we look back at those teams and seeing a couple of team photos and speaking to guys over the last few months, those mid-90 teams were quite strong, and obviously culminated in the '97 grand final for the seniors, which we went down in. And Mike, you played in it?
I played in that. Yeah, we were on top all year. I think we lost one game by a goal to Dooders during the year, so we were clear favourites. And Glenroy had just scraped in to the 4 that year, and we'd beaten them convincingly both times. 8, 9, 10 goals. I think maybe we were a bit complacent on grand final day, and we had a really good side. That side we had that year would have gone well in A grade, no doubt. But to Glenroy's credit, they were too good on the day.
Hurts.
It
still does, I think.
It hurt at the time, but that's the way it goes. It's sort of a sliding door moment. If we had gone back up to A grade, like we probably should have that year, or the next year, who knows what would happen? But
He lost the senior grand final. You win the reserves grand
reserves,
final.
Yeah, that was.
Talk us through that day.
It was fantastic. I think the Stars have beaten us twice during the year, gave us a good hiding, and then beat him in the semi, and then knocked him off in the grand final under Super Coach Johnny Kemp. I have to give him a shout out. So no, it was good. Good celebrations for a week. So,
and I'm sure some of those players that played in that team actually turned out to be quite strong, and some of our better senior players throughout the year.
Yeah, they were. I think a couple doubled up. I think Brad Tompkinson might have played in both. I know he's one. I remember Big Drev stood up that day, kicked 4 goals. Craig Wallace kicked 5. I think he was just kicking them from anywhere. So Tony Roswell, I think, was best on ground. So he did come back and play. It was a decent old team. Nick Saladino, I think, Greg Don, Mick has played, Paul Mick was in there,
So it must be pretty special, especially when you come back to past players' days, and obviously you spend a bit of time here seeing those guys come back and reminisce.
Oh, it's great, yeah. Past players' day is awesome. It's one of my favourite days of the year, so, and it's a long day as well, but it is good to see them all come back, so. Yeah.
And then we moved through the 2000s, and in 2003, Mike went away for a few years and played in Cobram, and you took over the presidency, and he came back and was assistant coach under Brad Gordon.
Brad Gordon, yeah.
How were those years as president? Would have been pretty tough.
Look, it wasn't an easy job. Not that I thought it'd be easy, but it was a lot harder than I thought, a lot more work, but yeah, it's tough. You got to do it to stick around, don't you? So. We're still here 50 years this year, 18 years later, so it was definitely tough, a lot of work, and we copped a few hidings, but we won a couple of games, I think. We didn't finish on the bottom, so it was one good thing, but like I said, it helped us to be here today, I suppose. So.
Well, you talk about helping through those years, and every reserves games I've been to over the years. I reckon you were playing in just about every one there for a while. No, to your credit, actually, I was water boying for a lot of those senior years, and you were playing then. I always remember Brett Pelini, the umpire, looked after you.
Yeah, he did look
Best
after
man.
me. You see tomorrow too. So, no, he did look after me. So in the end, I think the coaches sort of said, let's take advantage of it. You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that's when I'll probably move forward.
Yeah.
They said, let's get a couple of goals out of it.
Yeah, you're a sharpshooter. I remember you
But,
dogging a few from the pocket.
Yeah, well, Brett helped with those as well. But
Yeah.
no, it's good. So,
You were still playing reserves up until last year?
No, a couple of years ago,
Couple of years ago.
I think, and then just had enough. I think knew the time.
Yeah.
They say it's true when you know the time's up. So
Yeah. Well, I think your legacy is off the field, obviously, in probably the last 20 years, but even now, Yvonne's, your wife's legacy over the last probably 5-10 years has been fairly significant. It must be great now that you got Jack down here and Bonnie playing such a big role in the club as well as yourself.
No, it certainly is. Yeah, no, everyone does a lot of work, so I have to give her a mention too. So, and Jack loves it. Like he played in the premiership 2 years ago, and yeah, he made me cry pretty much. So, well, special moment. So, he loves it. He didn't let go of the cup for about a week, I reckon. So, yeah, he was wrapped, and he loves it down there. So,
And Michael, you've got the girls down here as well.
That's right. So my daughter Matisse is playing under 14s, and my niece Madison.
Yeah.
So under 14s. I'm helping out, with the coaching and assistant coach. Yeah, so that's enjoyable. It's good to see how the girls have developed and improved over the year. They lost the first 3 or 4 games at the start of the year, and they've won the last 2. And there's certain definite development and improvement.
Well, it's
So that's good.
it's a pretty special feeling that the Dodorico name's still getting around.
oh, that's right. That's the other thing. Yeah, keep going. I know my dad would be proud.
Yeah.
His grandkids is running around and playing Nashville colours as well. So
Yeah, no doubt. Well, the Dodorico name first down here in 1977,
77,
and
yeah.
we're in 2021 and it's still going
still
strong.
going strong. Yeah.
It doesn't look like finishing up anytime soon. So, Michael and Chris, it's been great to have a chat and get to know a little bit more about the Dodorico links to Tadfield. So, just lastly, for any lasting words for anyone thinking about coming back for the 50-year celebration?
Look, get back if you can. It's a big moment in the club's history. It's a huge milestone and celebration. 50 years, it probably doesn't get any bigger. Apart from some premierships along the way, this is probably the biggest year for the club, I think. And the club has excelled lately, I think, on and off the field. There's a heap of improvement. Financially, the club's a lot more stable and secure than what it was. So get
Chris?
back.
Oh yeah, get back. It's awesome, especially if you play in the premiership here, and these are the nights you look forward to, the reunions and 50-year balls and stuff like that. So yeah, come. Should be a good night.
Yeah.
Well said, boys. Thanks for your time.
No worries, no problem. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, Mike.